deserts, right? The instant picture in your head might be of, endless golden dunes, starkly empty and devoid of life.
Yeah, that classic image.
But what if I told you that image is just scratching the surface?
Yeah.
Today, we're plunging into the Lut Desert in Iran, a landscape that kind of throws those simplistic ideas out the window. It harbors some truly astonishing characteristics.
Exactly. You expressed interest in extraordinary natural environments, and the Lut Desert, or Enya as it's known, certainly fits that bill. We've drawn on a compelling article from Dasht magazine, which really brings to light why this location has earned its place as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a site of global importance, really.
Right. So our goal today is to uncover the most fascinating aspects of this desert. Maybe clear up any common misunderstandings about what it actually is, and understand just why it's considered so significant on a world scale.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because the article starts by tackling a really interesting point. The difference between a standard desert and the Persian concept of kavir.
Ah, yes, this is key. What's fascinating here is that while the terms desert, that's Bisas and Kavir Air, are often used, as if they mean the same thing, they actually describe different kinds of arid landscapes.
Different how?
Well, think of a kavir as a specific type of water-scarce area. Very little plant life, often marked by salty or gypsum-rich ground that makes it really hard for anything to grow.
Okay, salty, hard-to-grow things.
Exactly. Now, a kavir can exist within a larger bisa or general desert region. The bises is the broader term.
Gotcha. So even though we call it the Lut Desert because of its sheer size and the fact that there are areas with vegetation in its center, it's actually classified as a bises.
Correct. But within this vast desert lies the Kaviri Lut, a particular zone characterized by this classic expansive salt flats.
Ah, okay. So it's like a desert having its own incredibly salty core.
Precisely. A good way to think about it. And geographically, this remarkable landscape is situated in southeastern Iran. It stretches across 3 significant provinces: Kerman, Sistan and Baluchistan, and South Khorasan.
And we're talking about a massive area, right? The article mentioned the dimensions.
Huge. Roughly 900 kilometers from north to south and about 300 kilometers wide from east to west.
Wow. That's a scale that's hard to really picture. Just vast.
It is. And as the article highlights, the Lut Desert isn't just some isolated, little-known spot. It's a recognized kavir region both within Iran and internationally. It's celebrated for its unique natural occurrences, its phenomena.
And its importance isn't just about its size, is it? It's not just a big patch of dry land.
Not at all, no. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the Lut Desert is significant for a number of intertwined reasons. It features a remarkable combination of, mountains, stunning visual landscapes, surprisingly varied plant life in certain areas.
Surprising, yeah, given the conditions.
And it plays a vital role in our understanding of geological processes.
Plus, it's got that dual draw, hasn't it? It's known as one of the hottest and driest deserts on the planet.
Absolutely. Record temperatures have been measured there.
Which naturally draws in photographers and tourists looking for those dramatic, extreme environments.
And on the other hand, from a scientific standpoint, this extreme environment offers an invaluable opportunity. A chance to study environmental changes and long-term climate patterns.
So there's both an incredible natural spectacle to witness and kind of natural laboratory for researchers.
Exactly. Dual appeal, significant for science, beautiful for tourists.
Okay, so it's huge, it's incredibly hot and dry, scientifically significant, and visually stunning. But what I found particularly interesting in the article was how it breaks down the Lut Desert into distinct regional parts. It's not just one uniform environment.
That's a crucial point, yeah. The Lut exhibits significant regional variations. Let's begin with the northern Lut. It's also known as Lut Khorasan or Lut Berjand because of its location.
In South Khorasan province, near Berjand.
That's right. This is the largest section and also the highest in elevation. It starts at around 1,000 meters and gradually decreases to about 500 meters as you head south.
And the landscape up there isn't just endless sand, right? It's more diverse.
Exactly. The northern Lut is characterized by a mixture of sandy and gravelly plains, along with hills formed from layers of deposited sediment and the remnants of ancient volcanic activity. The article mentions irregular erosions, which suggests a landscape that's been, significantly shaped by geological forces over long periods.
Right, sculpted by time and elements. Then we move to the central Lut, which the article refers to as Dasht-e Lut, or the Lut Basin. This sounds like the real core of the desert experience.
It kind of is. Geographically, it spans about 162 kilometers in length and 52 kilometers in width, and its composition is quite different from the north.
How so?
Here you find those characteristic salt and gypsum covers we talked about, alongside substantial accumulations of sand, including the Kavire Malik Mohammed, which lies just west of the really impressive Rigi Lan sandfield.
Okay, so the center is where you find more of those classic, iconic desert features, the salt flats, the big sand areas. And finally, we have the southern Lut, or Lut Mohammed.
Yes, the southernmost part, primarily situated within the Kerman and northern Sistan and Balochistan provinces.
And this part has something unique too, right? Something about vegetation.
What's particularly intriguing about the southern Lut is the presence of remaining vegetation that seems to hint at, well, older civilizations maybe? Or at least different environmental conditions in the past.
Fascinating, like clues to its history.
Exactly. And geologically, it's further divided into three distinct areas.
Right.
There's the Dasht-e Lut, which acts as a transitional zone moving towards the central Lut. Then the kaluts.
Ah, the kaluts. Those are the breathtaking rock formations, the ones that look almost like ruins of ancient cities in the photos.
Those are the ones. Incredible wind-carved rock formations. Think of softer rock being eroded away by persistent winds over millennia, leaving behind these dramatic, often quite intricate shapes.
Just amazing. And the third part of the south?
And then you have areas of sandy hills as well in the southern Lut.
Okay, so kaluts and sandy hills down south. Now, while the desert itself is obviously the main attraction, the article also highlights some interesting spots in the vicinity of the Lut, things nearby.
Yes, that's right. The areas surrounding the desert also offer notable points of interest. The article mentions, for instance, Shafiabad Castle. It was a caravanserai, like a roadside inn for travelers on the old routes in Shafiabad village.
Okay, a historical stop.
And there's the salty Shur River, the Shaddad Water Reservoir at Ayashi, and even mentions a Lut Desert lake, which might be seasonal, perhaps.
A lake in the desert. Wow. And it goes beyond just those immediate sites, doesn't it? The nearby cities.
Absolutely. The cities of Kerman and Shaddad, which really serve as gateways to the Lut, they also have their own historical and natural treasures.
Like what?
Well, you could easily combine a trip to the desert with visits to places like Gandambarian, famously known for some of the hottest surface temperatures recorded on Earth. There's the Ratil Canyon of Shaddad, the Kalshur River, Rumut Castle.
Lots to see.
Oh, yeah. And in Kerman itself, the historical Ganjali Khan complex, the stunning Shazda Garden of Mahan, the Jabali Dome, the Moyedi Ice House, an ancient refrigerator, basically, so much more. It really illustrates that the Lut Desert is part of a much richer cultural and natural tapestry in the region.
It really does. Now, considering how extreme the conditions seem, the heat, the dryness, I was surprised to learn about the vegetation in the Lut. It's not completely devoid of plant life, is it?
No, not entirely. I mean, the article correctly points out that the diversity of plant species is lower compared to less harsh environments naturally, but it emphasizes that there is a unique environmental and plant diversity present, despite the intense dryness and heat. Life finds a way. Sort of.
And it even changes with the seasons.
Exactly. During the spring, after those brief periods of rainfall, you actually see the emergence of grassy plants that temporarily add touches of color to the landscape. It's a powerful demonstration of the tenacity of life, really.
That must be quite a sight.
Definitely. The article specifically mentions the Rigi Yalan area, that big sand field, as having vegetation adapted to sandy conditions. Plants like escanbil, which is a hardy type of grass, Nebka.
Nebka. What are those?
Those are fascinating. They're often called sand pots. Basically, plants trap wind-blown sand around their base, creating these small mounds, these little ecosystems.
Wow. Plants building their own little islands?
Kind of, yeah. And also plants like taw, which is a salt-tolerant shrub, and nasi plants, all adapted to survive there.
Those sand pots, the Nebka, sound truly remarkable. It's incredible how life adapts. Now, for anyone listening who might be considering a visit to this amazing place, the article touches on where you can actually stay. I mean, I can't imagine you just pitch a tent anywhere easily.
Well, you certainly can camp amongst the dramatic kaluts and sand dunes for a more, let's say, adventurous experience. Many people do. But there are also established desert camps that offer a greater level of facilities and comfort.
Okay, camps. What kind of facilities are available there? Is it basic or?
The article mentions provisions like electricity, which is a big plus out there, restrooms and showers, access to drinking water, and even little cafes and small shops. They provide a convenient base, for exploring the surrounding desert without roughing it completely.
That sounds more manageable for many people. Does it name any specific places?
Yes, several specific camps and eco-lodges are listed. There's the Lut Desert Camp, the Satora Eco Camp in Malekabad Village, Agai Eco Lodge, and others with quite evocative names like Kalut, Gandambarian, Kashkilu, Nabka.
Named after the sandpots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Yadagar, Toranj, Darash, and Shabi Porsetter, which translates beautifully to starry nights.
Starry nights in the desert, that sounds absolutely magical, just imagining the sky out there. And it's not just about admiring the scenery, is it? The article mentioned activities.
Oh, absolutely. The Lut Desert is increasingly becoming a destination for adventure tourism. It's not just passive sightseeing.
What kind of things can you do?
The article lists activities such as off-roading adventures, 4x4 trips, safari tours, camel riding excursions, which is a classic desert experience, motorcycling across the dunes, if you're into that, desert trekking or walking, and naturally photography. It's a photographer's dream.
I bet. And you can't overlook those quintessential desert experiences, just witnessing the sunrise and sunset, how they paint the vast landscape with incredible colors.
Unforgettable moments and exploring the different elevations, the heights, getting different perspectives on the desert landscape.
It sounds like a truly immersive experience, whether you're seeking adventure or just soaking in the atmosphere.
It does. The article sums it up well. A unique destination for both thrilling adventures and appreciating the stark, powerful beauty of Iran's desert environment.
So how does one actually venture into this remarkable place? I mean, it's not exactly a weekend trip for most people listening.
No, it requires some logistics. The article provides clear directions for getting there. The main entry point, the gateway city, is Kerman.
Okay, start in Kerman.
From Kerman, you then travel to Shahdad. That town is situated much closer to the desert's edge. And from Shahdad, you proceed into the Lut itself.
And if you're traveling from Tehran, say by car, that sounds like a significant undertaking.
It is. The article estimates around a 10-hour drive just to reach Shahdad. And then once you're on the road leading into the Lut from Shahdad, it's another couple of hours. And the article specifically points out that the road surface can be uneven, sometimes challenging, partly due to the presence of those kalut formations impacting the area.
Good to know. Probably not ideal for a standard city car.
Yeah.
What about other transportation options? Flying or train?
Definitely. For those who prefer not to drive the entire distance, you can fly or take a train to Kerman from various parts of Iran. That gets you to the main hub.
And from Kerman.
From Kerman, there are bus services that will take you the rest of the way to Shahdad. And from Shahdad, it's approximately 45 kilometers or so to the actual boundary of the Lut Desert, where the adventure really begins.
Okay, so it's a journey that involves a few stages, but definitely achievable with some planning. Well, as we bring this deep dive to a close, it's just abundantly clear that the Lut Desert is so much more than just, a barren wasteland.
Indeed. It's far more complex and fascinating. The article concludes by emphasizing that the Lut Desert, with its sheer grandeur and unparalleled natural beauty, represents a really valuable piece of both Iran's and, frankly, the entire world's natural heritage.
And it fulfills that important dual role we talked about, drawing in visitors from across the globe while also providing crucial opportunities for scientific and geological research into the ongoing processes of environmental change, climate shifts.
Absolutely. Which brings up a compelling thought, maybe, for you listening. Consider the immense scale we've discussed and the extraordinary resilience of life that exists in such an extreme environment. What fundamental principles of adaptation, maybe, or just the sheer power of nature can we glean from landscapes like the Lut Desert?
That's a great question. What can these places teach us?
And perhaps you might find it further enriching to explore the UNESCO World Heritage listing for the Lut Desert online, just to delve even deeper into its global significance and the specific reasons behind its protected status. It really puts its uniqueness into perspective.